Good morning, Michelle Saxman here, and ready to share with you some time with Jesus Calling by Sarah Young on August the 9th. And you guys, why am I staying in front of this board identifying kingdom and culture? And that is because it is our responsibility to know where we are in relation to our Savior. He never moves, He never changes. It is we who drift and wander. So this board I hope to keep behind me just as a reminder. In Genesis 3, was it 3:6 or 3:9, when God called out to Adam and Eve and said, "Where are you?" It is not because God did not know where Adam was, but it is man's responsibility to know where we are in relation to Him. And then this reading today, this robe of righteousness, I don't know, it's kind of one of my favorite things to talk about because I say our fabric is the same on each and every one of us. It is the blood of our Savior, Jesus Christ. But each robe was uniquely designed for each and every one of us. It's going to look a teeny tiny bit different because each and every one of us have a unique journey back toward Him, the seat of the soul. And so this reading today, and I'll look at my notes, and it says this robe of righteousness. And He doesn't like when we're feeling uncomfortable in this regal robe with luxurious folds, this glorious garment. And we begin to feel unworthy, and it kind of feels a little heavy, and it is not something that we feel comfortable in because it is so luxurious. But when we remember that He sees us without sin, He sees the piece of Him in us. He knows in our human form, we're going to fall, we're going to falter. We live in a fallen, broken, fractured planet. And in our human form, we are going to sin and miss the mark. But once we turn toward Him, become still, allow Him to fully fill us, to cultivate the soul, the fruits of the spirits, Him within. And I say this robe, when we walk confidently in it, it's not from the ego, because it is not from who we are or what we have done, but rather it is for Him that is within us. I say it's not for who you are, but it's for whose you are. And it is not for what we've done in our earthly form, but what He has done for us. So walk confidently from humility, not from the ego. So humility versus ego. When we walk confidently because of our skills, we're going to continue to stumble. When we walk confidently and humbly because of whose we are, then we can radiate that light naturally. So the readings for today, the first one is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10. I delight greatly in the Lord. My soul rejoices in my God, for He has clothed me with garments of salvation and arrayed me in a robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom adorns his head like a priest, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. Again, it is not for what we have done, but for what He has done. The sacrifice that He has made. You guys, He did that not for Him, but for us, because He knows in our human form, we need that level of forgiveness. He's already sees us clothed in this robe of righteousness. The next reading is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. God made Him who had no sin to be sin for us, so that in Him we might become the righteousness of God. That sacrifice, He loved us first, and then He sent His Son so that we would then have a Savior. So Creator, Savior, and Spirit. The final reading is Ephesians chapter 4, verses 22 through 24. You were taught with regard to your former way of life to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. And again, Jesus did not come to create followers. He came to create leaders, and we can lead without ever saying a word. We don't have to preach the word. We don't have to quote Bible chapter and verse. What we can be is that calm, that peace, that light. So put on your robe of righteousness, shed the old ways, shed all of those former ways of life. Put off the old self, the corrupted, deceitful desires. Be made new in the attitude of your mind. So again, the conductor of the brain train, know who you are, know whose you are. Stay connected to the vine, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.